We're heading to Chico, California, and one of the earliest American craft breweries, Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, for the most popular American barley wine, the yearly released and multiple World Beer Cup and Great American Beer Festival award-winning Bigfoot. This beer was first brought onto the scene in the winter of 1983, the second ever American barley wine released, and it quickly rose through the ranks to what the brewery calls a cult classic. It's a favorite among collectors, including those who like to cellar the beers for years and then bust them out for, quote, vertical tastings. That's taking different years and comparing. Now, there's even a story online that I read about a man's mother finding a 1987 unopened bottle of Bigfoot barley wine at a yard sale, and she bought it for just $2. Why is someone keeping that and then just selling it for $2? I don't get it. 1987. Anyway, Bigfoot is somewhat difficult to rate because the hops and combination of hops tend to change each year. It's never really the same exact beer, and of course, as you age it, it's going to taste different from year to year the longer it's stored. The only consistency with this beer, I would say, is its popularity. According to one review online of the 2010 version, it has big waves of peppery alcohol married with aromas of sweet malt, fresh bread, and piney hop aromas. The palate of this beer is rich and lush with a sea of smooth maltiness. Complex flavors of sweet malt, butterscotch, and estery fruit flavors of plum coat the tongue. It comes into us at 9.6% alcohol by volume, IBUs all the way a whopping 90, and as far as the malts go, it uses 2-row pale and caramelized malts, hops, Cascade, Centennial, and Chinook, and it uses ale yeast. Food pairings. I found a site that recommends food pairings. As I mentioned on the onset of the style of American barley wine, it doesn't really go with your main entree, but it does pair well with blue cheese or a nutty pastry like pecan pie. Not sure that I've ever tried Bigfoot barley wine, but I have not reviewed it, so it's going to be interesting. Okay, most popular barley wine, Bigfoot. This is the 2021 version, and as I mentioned, it's really hard to rate these, to rank these, because they're all different every year, and when you cellar them, they become even more different. So, yeah, in the back here, that does say that you drink it fresh or cellar each year's expedition to unleash a world of new flavors over time. So this year's version comes into us at 9.6% ABV. Again, I don't know if I've ever had Bigfoot. I want to say I have. Can't believe I didn't review it, which makes me wonder. Maybe I did and didn't upload it. Not the first time that's happened with a beer. I know it happened to me with, I guess it was Arrogant Bastard, I think. Man, we see a really, really heavy coppery pour here. Look at this thing. I'll get the Chimay label out of the way. A little bit orangey, definitely getting a very pungent alcohol aroma from this beer as it kind of pervades. Very malty, very, I guess a bit on the hoppiness side. Very bubbly, a thin khaki kind of look to the head, but just a very boozy, malty kind of smell to this one for sure. Here's the label, by the way. I guess it's different labels each year. You see the Bigfoot and this gentleman who's pulling his horse or his mule, trying to look for land, and he ran into Bigfoot. That's unfortunate. He's probably not going to have a good ending. Let's get the taste now. Wow. Classic barley wine taste. It doesn't have quite the bite. It does have a booziness to it, that's for sure, but usually a more effervescent alcohol bite. Lots of malt on this, and a good taste. Getting a little more of the booziness, a little more of the harshness in the back of the throat, but rather smooth for this style. I know some barley wines can be very harsh in the back. I like this one. They did a really good job with it. I think it tastes as fresh as it can be. Of course, freshness, you really can't say that for a beer that you might want to age. This is packaged on December 22nd, 2020. It's currently March 19th of 2021, just 3 months later, so 3 months of aging, which isn't that much, right? Good beer, though. definitely getting a full taste of this one. So I think Sierra Nevada did a great job with this one. I'm going to go ahead and give Bigfoot Barleywine a 9.5 out of 10. Really that great aroma of malts. And the booziness, but not the harsh booziness that you get from some of the barley wines. I think it really tastes really good, and one of the best probably barley wines I've ever had. I think, from my perspective, I think the best one I ever had was probably oak horizontal, the old horizontal and oak barrels from Victory, and that's basically the one time I had it, which was 8 years ago or so. I don't really remember much of it other than I remember loving it. And that might be my creme de la creme for this style. However, as far as popular versions of this beer, this one knocks it out of the ballpark. And I got this in a mix of 6. So 9.5 out of 10 for Bigfoot Barleywine.